you mentioned Ruthless and everything, and if we don't talk about Easy E, that'd be criminal, man. Talk a little bit about Easy. I heard there's an interesting line that the game has in one of his songs. He said, "I watched Easy E's legacy melt away like a candle," and I thought that was very interesting because as crazy as it sounds, they're almost trying to like erase Easy out of history at times. I feel like but talk a little bit about Easy, what he meant to you, and just talk to our fans about what Easy E was like.
But I mean, the last. Let me answer the last question first. The last question is he's fucking correct. You said game, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yep,
Yeah, that is my motherfucker. That's
no
one of my
doubt,
close friends in the industry.
indeed,
And it's true. They never show Easy E love because of what he died of, and they don't consider him a rapper until this movie came out,
right,
and that's when shit took off, and that's when he got his proper dues. That's when his homies let him shine. That movie was about Easy E, man.
no
Yep.
doubt,
Like it was about Easy E. You know what I mean? And now, what what he meant is really really simple. He meant everything to us. He meant everything to me. He was the one that took us the fuck out of the ghetto, and he was the one we felt was the most in need of our talent of our caliber. We
mm,
predicted it before we took the one-way bus tickets. We
right,
struggled out there for damn near 11 months.
right,
Struggled. Earthquake, getting on welfare, living with somebody in a tiny ass house.
yeah,
And finally, I mean, yeah, it was the story is fucking amazing. But finally, we were able to meet him, and we had gotten on the phone with him once before. We made contact with him. We lost contact with him, and it broke our fucking hearts. And then right after that, we're looking at the box, and it said he's gonna be in Cleveland, uh, performing at Levert's.
all the
So what
verts,
we did was caught the bus back. We wound up making it in Cleveland anyway.
mm,
So we take the one way bus trip down to LA, but we met Easy in Cleveland. So after that, he put us back on the bus. And I've been eating ever since. I shit you not.
wow,
I was like 15 years. I was like 15 years old when that happened. Yo,
um,
16.
Is Easy E like the greatest fucking A&R of all time? Because when you look back, and I'm not just talking talent, I'm talking legendary fucking talent. NWA, Dr. Dre, DOC, Michel'le, JJ Fad, Both Thugs in Harmony, Black Eyed Peas. It's just mind-boggling when you think about the legacies that these artists have now, and that he's kind of like the guy that saw the vision, so to speak. Um,
When you think of Easy E, you really don't think of all of them, and that's one of the things I think that Game was talking about. Please
right.
continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no. No, just I think you're making the right point. Why is it that people don't see Easy E as this legendary visionary, so to speak? You know, it's like Russell Simmons was a drug dealer who started Def Jam Records. Easy E was a drug dealer who started Ruthless Records. With Jerry Heller, but still started it. Why doesn't he get the same credence that Russell Simmons does?
Well, I mean, I think it had a lot to do with not only the way that he died, but where we were in hip hop. It was a great time for music. The very next year, Tupac died.
Right.
The very next year, Biggie died.
Yeah,
Right.
And them were, god damn, that was crazy. The whole East Coast, West Coast thing. So I think that aided in not really noticing, hey, Easy died too. Hey, he's a legend too. And I think that came up missing all the way up until the movie came out. Now, you're not going to hear people going at it as hard because social media is fucking fast.
mm,
Snap, 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 snap. Everybody trying to keep up with the one current,
Yeah.
positive and negative. Snap, 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 snap. The people with personality understand it. The people that aren't blinded by social media understand it. But the mind needs to be occupied. We already talked, the elevation of this whole, you know, uh, electronic age, shall we fucking say, the age of the current,
Yeah.
some shit.
Right.
So, and that's why I think now you don't hear it as much from the NWA movie, but I do believe it's implemented in the heart. Maybe not in the mind, but it's implemented in their heart. And we keep on keeping his legacy alive. I think that others could help. I think that the Black Eyed Peas and the people that you were naming, I think they can help, but they don't accredit him as discovering it and him just dying and having this big ass fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony thing and this battle with Jerry Heller and all these people tugging at him that was keeping him from being able to be as big right away when they needed it and take over every section because he needed to put the proper people in the proper places.
Right.
So, and I think that they sometimes confuse that with he really didn't help us get to where we are. But Eazy E is just as important to the Black Eyed Peas as Fergie is. And that's
100%. You mentioned a little while ago, like this a stigma when it comes to Eazy. Because you mentioned because what he died of. You guys, Bone Thugs, have been adamant on different platforms that that didn't come, that he was killed pretty much. You know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term. Talk about that because I'm in agreement with you. But can you break it down a little bit further? Because I believe a lot of people say because he went to the White House, and there's a whole bunch of different conspiracy theories out there. But talk a little bit about that because you guys have been so adamant about that he was pretty much killed.
Well, I mean, I talked to Tamika. We had a meeting with Tamika just to pick her brain,
Right.
just to see what the fuck you doing, what you over there stealing.
Right.
Let's have a meeting. You got to do that every 4 or 5 years, motherfucker. They fuck with. But I talked to her about it, and she has her own theories. His son has his own theories. Everybody seems to have a theory about it.
Right. What's your theory?
I really don't have a theory.
Okay.
What I think it sounds the most likely is he was getting acupuncture. And I think he went to one of those goddamn places and they didn't clean the needles just to relax his back. He had back problems. And they didn't clear the needles. And I think that he got a dirty needle from that. And somebody who told me that was one of his close Spanish homeboys. Because in the Latin community, in the Spanish community, Eazy E will never be forgotten. Ever. Right. Especially in LA. That's all he fucked with. He was dropping them $500,000 deals here, $500,000 deals there. He was giving them guap.
Right.
So, but that's what I think is the most likely theory. That's what I most likely think is the theory. Like, I don't think the Big Fear did it.
Right.
Because I can't see him with everybody that he has.
Right.
Not handling that right away. Because Jerry Heller could not convince him to not do a goddamn thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Couldn't convince him to not do a goddamn thing. Eazy was his own name. Jerry Heller didn't have that much motherfucking influence over him.
Right.
Jerry Heller fixed the books because Eazy was a thug ass motherfucker, and he opened that shit up with dirty money.
Indeed.
Right.
Did he look out for himself? Yes, he did. No, y'all remember the movie? Y'all remember the movie? That shit was hilarious.
Are we gonna get a Bone Thugs movie or something? Y'all got something going on like that? Or
no? No. The movie Straight Outta Compton. It was a
No. I know, but we're asking a segue question now.
Yeah.
When do we see a Bone Thugs movie? Because that seems like the next.
Or like a miniseries or something. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We all over the place, baby. I don't know when that. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Like right now, I'm writing my life story
Right.
because the fellas basically told me our story isn't finished.
Indeed.
Our story
Absolutely
is.
not.
They said we're still writing it. I'm like, cool, no problem. But
Right.
I'm definitely seeing the culture needing a Bone type movie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So I'm definitely going to, tell my story. Kidnapped, found by John Walsh from America's Most Wanted
Crazy.
Right.
after his
Yeah.
son
Right.
got murdered. Foster homes and shit. A father at 14 years old. Battling Jay-Z, little
Yeah.
shit like that. You know what I mean? So little things like that I'm able to do and not fuck up the Bone story and the course and in the interim.
That'll be
You know
Right.
crazy.
what I mean? So and still give that room to breathe. But I'm a firm believer that Netflix is taking over and TV is taking over, but we're
Absolutely.
transitioning out of the movie theaters.
Right.
100%.
And eventually
Streaming.
I believe that door can or will eventually close.
Absolutely.
I want to be very smart. If you've noticed that people are in the vlogging now, it's not about the big motion picture and the production. They're in the vlogging now. And if you
Right.
got to be really interested and you got to be all the way in,
Yeah.
or it's not going to happen on a professional level. It'll be some low budget bullshit
Right.
and not be as big as it needs to be. And then we embarrass ourselves because we're big and that fucks up our brand. So I looked
Right.
at that whole recipe for danger. So I had a meeting up at Heart to Heart Productions with Mr. Chang about my life story.
Nice.
And we're putting meetings together for Master P and
Nice.
a couple of other people. We're gonna, Master P gonna get it done, dude.
Facts.
Absolutely.
He gonna
It'll get
he gonna
done.
get it done, baby. He gonna get
Absolutely.
it done.
Well, you know what?
People that I want to